Hey carnivores, welcome back to the channel. It's me, Bella the Steak and Butter Gal. I hope you guys are having a beautiful day today. Today's video is very exciting because I get to talk more about fasting. You guys know how passionate I am about fasting now. It's going to be all about the benefits, the different benefits between 16 all the way up to 48-hour fasts. So hopefully today's video will really cover the basics. As you saw in my previous video, I really went into detail talking about how I went from OMADs, slowly transitioning into 30 plus fasts, and then into rolling 48s successfully and effortlessly with the guidance and help of Raymond. So this video could not be done without him back on, so we can really discuss it in detail. Before we get started, actually, I do want to share that Raymond and I are hosting the August challenge together. So if you guys are very, very passionate about upping your fasting game and you want to ask so many questions regarding fasting and carnivore, this is the time to really jump in onto the Zoom community calls where we can answer your questions and cheer you on, motivate you, keep you on track. The accountability there is amazing, and the community and sense of belonging that you will feel, we hope will truly benefit you and keep you on track. So without further ado, let me just invite on Coach Raymond. Welcome, Raymond. How are you?
Hi, Bella. Thank you for having me on.
Of course. So did you have anything to add regarding the August challenge? What do you think is so special and valuable about this community?
The August challenge has been wonderful. I think this is the best way to reach a lot of people, to teach them about, hey, how to fast, how to troubleshoot their fasting. One of the biggest things about fasting is it's almost like an F word. So people are very fearful of fasting. So when we talk about it enough in a community, it becomes more acceptable. Like, hey, this person's my age, this person's my weight, and they're doing it. Maybe I could too.
Absolutely. And I have to say, watching Raymond help each and every member's different struggles and questions, it's so beautiful because he always has an answer. He always has a solution. So we welcome you with open arms, no matter what experience you guys are. It's okay if you haven't even started carnivore and you just want a community to push you, kick your butt to start. We welcome you into the next challenge. The link to sign up is down below. Okay, enough of the challenge talk. Let's delve into today's topic, Raymond. So first, 16 hours fast, right? Why is it that you want to start from 16 hours and not any lower?
Yes. So 16 hours is right about the gauge for more experienced carnivores. Typically, they're right around there, or OMADs. We have to remember that when we eat all day long, we're spiking our insulin, which could be very negative to your body. Now, saying that, again, the feasting is what's important. You can't just go straight to, you are eating 7 meals a day on a sad diet and going carnivore and you're eating 2 meals a day. It's just not going to work out. So make sure you feast to the point, in other words, eat a lot of meat until you get to the point where you're automatically on those 2 meals a day.
Yes, so for the viewers who already are familiar with Raymond's message of feasting and fasting, you guys are probably going to think he's like a broken record. But we always have new viewers who are not familiar with this type of feasting first before fasting concept. Back to the 16 hours, you obviously are saying in order to even start 16 hours, the basic one, right? It's still important to feast.
Absolutely. And Bella, would you like to tell us when you first started, how often were you eating carnivore?
Oh yes, of course. So when I first started carnivore, I would say I'm quite an anomaly, but maybe not, because a lot of women these days, they are healing from disordered eating issues. And I seriously was. And on top of that, I was coming from a very malnourished and horrible diet, the vegan diet. 6 years. Okay, so I went into carnivore hoping that I would heal and bring back my period. I also went into carnivore feeling like I had a bottomless pit of a stomach. So the only way I could satisfy my ravenous hunger was legit eating 5 meals every single day. And some of those 5 meals would be huge snacks. Some would be real big meals. Whatever it was, I would be eating all throughout the day. And when I told this to Raymond, he understood why. Because when you have that hunger, you have to feed that hunger. There's no way you can ignore or deny those signals when it's coming from your body. You always say, like, eat to hunger, listen to your body. When you're hungry, you eat, right? So what is the importance of that?
Yeah, well, at first, the problem is when you're a bottomless pit. I was also a bottomless pit. I overate on purpose meats. Then after a little while, what we'll notice is that we're just snacking less because it's next to impossible. So then at that point, I started thinking to myself, what is hunger? What is true hunger? Most of the time now I get the best suggestive hunger. Suggestive hunger is at the point where it's like, I could eat, but I'm too lazy. Let's say I had to make a 5-course meal. I'd be too lazy to do that. That's suggestive hunger. I'm not really that hungry. So I could easily skip this meal.
There's going to be a lot of carnivores who's watching this and they're like, that's me. I don't know if I'm truly feeling real hunger or what Raymond said, suggestive hunger, right? So that's why we think feasting will really help you clarify those doubts.
Yes, feasting means when you are full, that's when your journey begins. When you are full, you're eating for pleasure. After that, then the work begins. It is not pleasurable anymore putting that bite of steak in your mouth or whatever it is, ground beef, eggs, whatever carnivore foods. The thing is that there is going to be a point you keep doing that your body just cannot put that in your mouth. That's when you're stuffed, is what I like to refer to it as. That's when you can stop eating.
So with 16-hour fast, typically how many meals should one expect to eat?
Yes, in that 16-hour fast followed with an 8-hour, what we call eating window, that typically should be 2 meals and no snacks in between. The other thing that we like to say during that 16-hour fast is no eating 3 hours before bed. That causes another set of problems if you're eating so close to bed.
Yes, exactly. So 2 meals will pair well with 16-hour fasts, 8-hour eating window. When the eating window is 8 hours long, how long should I be spending when I'm actually eating?
When you're actually eating, I do want to make enough time to be able to stuff yourself. So I would say if you're eating 2 meals a day on a 16-hour fast, I usually like to use 15 to 30 minutes to eat for that.
15 to 30 minutes per meal for 2 meals a day, which is the best way for a 16-hour fast. And what are the benefits that one can expect with a 16-hour fast?
Weight loss is, I know that's the benefit that everybody looks at. This is a slow chisel, but if you do this for a year, you will see some kind of body composition change. It's actually right at that level where you will see body composition change, but there will be a stall. And this is why we're interested in something deeper than just the 16 hours.
So I think it's all about perspective, where if somebody was coming from an SAD diet full of junk, right, and they're eating snacks and multiple meals, and then they start doing carnivore and they do 2MAD 16-hour fast, they're going to see a lot of benefits they've never felt before, including weight loss, including body recomp, and including better mental clarity. We think 16-hour fast is the basic, right, if you want to start playing around with fast. So now let's move on to the next one. This one I would say is the most popular and loved one, the 24-hour fast. So Raymond, all you.
Yeah, so on the 24-hour fast, typically we'd also love to call it OMAD, or 1 meal a day. This is more for carnivores who's been carnivores probably 3 or 4 months in. It makes their life simple. They don't want to think about anything. All it is that every 22, 23 hours they eat, they have an hour of eat, and then they start over again. And that's it.
So you mentioned it's very doable to do every day. And I really agree with this because this is probably the most sustainable yet effortless one. OMAD is very, very natural. In my experience, the best benefit I have felt from 1 meal a day every day is the food freedom. So I get to have the whole day to myself and I get to do whatever I want, do whatever work and tasks I want to finish. And then I can look forward to a nice hearty feast whenever I break that fast. So for me, it's food freedom. Now, what would you say OMAD benefits are in your experience?
For OMADs, if you consistently do OMADs, for example, instead of 16/8 for a whole year, with OMADs, you will see a much better body composition. So this is the one that a lot of carnivores choose to do, and they get to that point where they lose all of their weight. Typically, I really am scared to use the word weight, because there are some that will do OMADs and then it will be stubborn. So this is not technically weight loss, and some people need a little bit more than that also.
OMADs, I remember you even phrased it as the best way to maintain. So what do you mean by that?
Yes. Now, this is on a full spectrum carnivore diet. This is eating cheese. This is eating chicken, beef, lamb, eggs, everything. On that, I have noticed if I don't do OMAD, I will gain a little bit of extra pudge, and I will see a little bit of stuff that I'm not really too happy about. And I also don't feel as good. And that's the most important. It's really not about the looks in a way. It is about how you feel. So with the extra pounds, you do feel a little bit not quite right.
Gotcha. Okay, so I also want to add in female cycles. This is for the female viewers. When your cycle is about to hit and you feel those symptoms, usually the trend is your appetite goes up, you start feeling more hungry, maybe the cravings hit, really evil cravings as well, like for your worst weaknesses like chocolate and ice cream. So this is the time to stop and forget about whatever fast that you are pursuing and go back to just eating whenever hungry. Females who deny their body that extra food when it's that time of the month, they will crash and burn. Okay, so we don't want that for you guys. We want you to have fun with fasting and do it really easily.
This is very important, especially when we're in the August challenge. You know, people come to us and say, hey, we're sick. What do we do about fasting during sick? We always say, hey, listen to your body at that point. Forget fasting. And if you accidentally do fast because you're just not hungry, that's what your body wanted. We don't even consider that a fast. If you're on vacation, let go of the fasting also. I know that sounds odd, but stress on top of stress is probably not the best idea, is what we say. Again, come on into the challenge. We can talk about these further. And if you have any challenges that comes up, we're here for you.
In the meetings, we get to listen to your struggles and we will answer according to your life and whatever events that you have coming up. It's a great way to just let out all of your stress regarding eating.
Again, I'd like to make sure people understand on OMADs, it does depend on how strict of a carnivore you are. So I'm on OMAD with ribeye only, and I'm leaning out like I did on my 48s. Which is incredible. I was not expecting that.
The combination of OMAD for him and doing nothing but ribeyes. And he's like me, he doesn't salt. He used to eat steaks and cheese, which is heavily salted, to now only ribeyes and OMADs. That could explain why he's getting so cut, why he's slimming down so much and losing all that water weight. So I did want to emphasize that even if you're doing XYZ fast, right, you also have to look at what you're eating.
Every little thing can add an extra inflammation. I cut all that down by going ribeye only. Therefore, that's probably why. Again, we don't know. This is something I'm exploring. I'm doing for 6 months. I'm about to find out.
Yes, very exciting. All right, now let's move on to the next fast. So I would say maybe 30 plus fast would be the best label for the next one.
Yes. We call that one alternate day fasting, and that is right about 30 plus to 36 hours at the most.
Now, how many meals should one expect to eat when they break such a fast?
Yes, that should be broken with a 2 meal. And that way you can go again to the next one, which means you're skipping a day. That's all that means. So every other day you will be eating 2 meals. 2 meals every other day.
Yeah, 2 meals every other day. So 12 p.m. one meal and possibly like 5 p.m. one meal. Skip until the next time, 12 p.m. Break that fast.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay. So in my experience, right, I can't really relate to this 2MAD plus 30 plus hour fasting because I personally can only do OMAD now. I've perfected this feasting side so much that when I sit down and eat, I make sure that I'm eating really so much food. So for me, what I did with these 30 plus hour fasts is I would eat my OMAD. Like 5 p.m. is when I would eat my OMAD. I would fast until 5 p.m. the next day, go to sleep and break that fast right in the morning. So that for me is a 30 plus hour fast. And those types, so those types of fast, I don't treat it as a way to regularly incorporate. That was kind of my buffer, like my stepping stone into 48-hour fasts. So I didn't have to freak out that, oh my gosh, I have to willpower through and get to 48 because I already told Raymond I would. He would just tell me, just break it now and treat it as a 30+ hour fast.
The objective of any of these alternate day fast or getting towards the 48 is training your body into being more efficient, for it to be wise in how it uses its energy. And that's key. This is why it took you, for example, Bella, a few tries to be able to get it. It took me several tries before I started noticing, hey, wait a minute, this is actually getting easier and easier. And the way I feast started changing. I started actually at first feasting a lot more, but later on, it started getting so efficient that my plates were actually even getting smaller. So all of that changes. But yes, it is all a training and an art.
So there you go. If you want to do 30+ hour fasts regularly, like very sustainably, then pairing it with OMAD will work better timing wise. But if you just want the 30+ hours to be like a stepping stone and a training level to get to the next fast we will talk about, then do that dispersed, sprinkled into your week.
Totally agree.
Awesome. So I would say like the benefits of 30+ is that you get like a heightened sense of mental clarity. 24-hour fasts are excellent for all across the board benefits, right? But it's kind of like good, right? But then when you get to 30+, they're really good.
On the 24 hours, sure, I get a little bit of mental clarity, feeling good and all, but right after I eat, it just turns off. So you get that pleasure for just a tiny bit. Meanwhile, with the 32, 36, you get to feel it a lot longer and you really get to appreciate it. And it's so nice to be in that zone. Actually, that's kind of what it feels like you're in the zone. And it's so nice to be there. But just like Bella said, that limitless pill, and you want it to last. Hence why the 48 exists.
So now let's move into the 48s. Okay, so we're gonna first talk about just one 48, not the famous rolling 48s that you guys all want to hear more about, but just a single 48-hour fast.
Typically, what I tell people to do is go ahead the day before prepping it, have a breakfast and have a lunchtime where it's anywhere between 12 to 3. You'll skip the next day and then you'll go to the following day, which you break it at that time, which is 3 o'clock, 12 to 3, whatever you decide.
Raymond's ideal time is lunchtime, but it doesn't have to be that. Like, let's say your job or your career doesn't allow you to do that, or you just like to eat evening. The only hard rule we want to emphasize is don't eat closer than 3 hours to bedtime. So benefits, let's touch on the benefits here. I think the benefits list is a little bit longer for 48 hours because, like we mentioned, really clear mental clarity right there. And I would say the productivity for me, is unsurpassed by any other type of fast. I dare say even 72 hours is not as good productivity-wise compared with 48-hour fast. What are your thoughts on that?
Absolutely. One of the wonders about 48s is the human growth hormone that gets built, that is naturally given to you up to 5 times the amount. You produce 5 times the amount of human growth hormone during that time. So this is the time to take advantage of working out during the fast, whether it's in your 20th hour and then you're just sticking with a 48 hours, or you work out. And I don't really recommend anything past the 30 hours if you're not used to doing it. But working out is one of the biggest advantage. The other one is body comp. Body comp just is beautiful during 48s.
Yes.
So we're talking about a single 48, right? But you guys obviously want more benefits, more results, more body recomposition. So now let's just deep dive into rolling 48s, right? So what does that even mean, rolling 48?
So rolling 48s is a 48-hour fast. You eat one time and then you go for another 48 hours.
Yes. So consecutive 48-hour fasts, each broken with one meal. So with rolling 48s is pretty much like the end all if you want to just feel your best, be your best self, I feel like. Body recomposition is extra enhanced. So what can you say about your experience body-wise for rolling?
So body-wise for rolling, what I've noticed on 48s, you can tell that morning how much body comp it gets to. And you're like, wow, I really like what I'm looking at. But by the evening, it seems to let go. So now if you wanted to stay there, if depending on how many rolls you can handle, that's where the rolling 48 comes in. So you'll notice, at least that's what I've noticed, for me to get that same picture that I liked on that first 48 to stay that way, it takes about 5 to 6 rolls. So you see how slow this can be. But when you feast properly, very important, very manageable to do. We've trained many people to do this, so it's not like we're making this up. I came from a guy who couldn't even do a 12-hour fast, just to let you know.
Yes. And I came from a whole mindset where if I do anything beyond OMAD, all of my disordered eating habits would come back, right? So the fact that I'm doing rolling 48 so easily and sprinkled with some 72-hour fasts, I can confidently say that if you're struggling with binge eating disorders or any type of disordered eating habits, fasting is still possible, but doing it the right way is all the more crucial. And this is why I really, really want to emphasize Raymond's concept, where you really focus and perfect that feasting before you even think about the fasting. Fasts really work well with your specific goals. So that's why we like to give a different set of benefits to each type of fast. Because look, at the end of the day, if you have a certain goal or a certain lifestyle and career, different fasts are going to work better for you. So with 48-hour fasts, it's great for somebody who has like high ambition. They want to achieve a lot. They want to just focus on working full long days without having to worry about eating or preparing food or having to feel that lull of eating a huge feast, right? So by doing 48-hour fasts, you get 2 days, not one, but 2 full days of productivity, great mood, and great energy.
Well said.
It's definitely something that is felt across the board from all of the carnivores who try 48-hour fasts correctly, is that euphoric mood, you know, that sense of euphoria is extra strong during 48-hour fasts. The zen is more strong in OMADs. And then the euphoria gets really heightened past the 30+ hour fast. So if you want to really get into a really good mood, yet also feel energetic and productive, right? And get body recomposition benefits, rolling 48s are definitely something to try. All of these fasts that we touched, they're tricky, honestly, even the 16 ones. All of these are tricky, and all of these have to be perfected, played around with through trial and error. So if you want to really accelerate your progress and your ability to perfect these fasts, again, I highly urge you guys to just click the link down below, sign up for August, and hang out with us all throughout the month to really talk about these fasts more, to really have Raymond give you customized advice week by week when we see you, to really help you feel your absolute best.
It took me about 2 years to really hone in on the fasting properly and get it to be understood properly, and something that I'm getting in my clients in 3 months. At the point where I'm actually jealous of my clients because of their great results and fantastic how quickly they're able to do something that took me this long to figure out. This is what the advantage of this challenges are, because you get to have all of our experiences and you can shortcut. You don't have to make the same mistakes we did.
Raymond's just going to lay down the path for you to walk towards your success, basically, is what he's trying to say. So we welcome you guys to sign up. Raymond, thank you so much for joining me today. I know the audience absolutely loves and cherishes all of your advice and knowledge. We will definitely be making more videos together. I personally enjoy so much speaking with Raymond. To be able to record these sessions and share it with the world, I feel very honored to do so. So Raymond, thank you so much.
Thank you, Bella.
Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the very next video. Bye.
SBG out.